Yeah, and I think no matter who gets into the White House, it's going to continue to be extremely large deficits for for the foreseeable future, which sort of plays into what you're talking about.
Well, the deficit thing might just be unavoidable at this point, because remember, we were always going to have a big structural deficit because of demographics. The baby boomers were going to start retiring, and they were going to need Social Security and Medicare, et cetera, et cetera. So the government was going to have to spend a lot more now than it did 20 years ago. And everybody saw that coming. We all knew it. So, in a well-run country, we would have been running massive surpluses up until like 3 years ago, so that we were ready for the massive increase in government spending that the baby boomers would cause. Well, that didn't happen. So now we're already running emergency level deficits as the second half of the baby boomers start to retire. So in another 5 years, we'll all be retired. We'll all be drawing massive benefits from the government that the government will have to borrow to cover. So I think we blew it from a timing standpoint if we were ever going to get government finances under control. And so even if we were running, zero deficits right now, we would still have the boomers to deal with 5 years hence, and we would still be back in very deep deficit territory structurally. In other words, unless you cut spending really dramatically, that's going to be your deficit. And there's no political will to cut spending. And I don't think there's any will to have your spending cut on the part of the voting populace. So if a government tries austerity, they get kicked out of office in any event. So, I think it's just inevitable. We have this institutional momentum that is taking us to a point where our finances are absolutely unmanageable. And you can make the case that we're there already. But even if we're not there already, demographics will take us there in a very short period of time. And we'll be talking national bankruptcy at that point.